This salute to Thoroughbred Aftercare gave the people who do the hard work at New York's Aftercare facilities a chance to meet in a casual setting with breeders who volunteered their time to work on the boards of the Breeding Fund and the membership group NYTB. It was also a chance to speak personally with lawmakers who watch over the breeding and racing industries. Board Chairman Brian O'Dwyer showed the symbolic check representing the more than $200,000 provided to Aftercare in 2022.
The work of the fund, of course, is done through the legislation that has empowered this fund.
In my role as executive director of the fund, I shared that our appreciation is heartfelt.
We have a compact with horses. They put our trust in us when we tell them to do something, that they're going to be safe. When we put them in the starting gate, we guarantee them they will be safe. And when they leave the racetrack, our aftercare facilities that we're honoring tonight guarantee that they will have a second career or a sanctuary home. And for that, we thank them.
Assemblywoman Carrie Werner also recognizes how important it is to support thoroughbreds after the racetrack.
Your commitment to the horses in your care lasts throughout their life.
My father-in-law is an avid horseman, and he is a volunteer over at Old Friends Farm. And you get to see how emotional and how strongly they feel for these horses that have had better days, that have already, their glory days are way past, and now they're just living out the rest of their lives. And you see how happy the horses are, and sometimes they're a little grumpy. Some of these horses are not, but you see how happy they are living the rest of their lives, and they're appreciated for what they are now.
The state's Agriculture Commissioner, Richard Ball, is a valued member of the fund board, and he too cares about horses.
This is so important. You can see the passion that's here, and that's here in the entire Thoroughbred Board Fund.
Fund Board Chairman O'Dwyer said, "We would continue to provide financial support to Racetrack Chaplaincy New York because it does so much for backstretch workers and farm workers and their families."
The great work of the racetrack chaplaincy, to you people for what you're doing for the backstretch workers. Let's give them a hand.
The chairman announced the fund's commitment to aftercare will continue, and Rick Schosberg of Take Two made a promise.
The funding for aftercare is something that I'm going to personally take on through the Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance, because we need an industry-wide funding mechanism.
The promise of more support was uplifting to our aftercare groups.
When I visit the horses, I know that they are cared for, that they are supported by the state of New York, and that when I go to the track, that I might see that those horses in another 10 years, another 15 years, and I will keep my eye out for them.
Making sure that when they're taken in, they're properly cared for, they're looked after, the vet, proper, vitamins, everything.
The majority are bred here in New York, have raced in New York, and are retired here in New York, and we're rehabbing and retraining them for second careers.
No horse should be a throwaway.
Absolutely not, and our thoroughbreds are promised a life at Lucky Orphans. We keep them until their very last days. Our oldest horse on the farm right now is 32 years old.
So as new foals hit the ground and breeding sheds open in New York, the fund and aftercare facilities are spreading the word that these thoroughbreds must be shown respect at every stage of life. Tracy Egan for NYBreds.com.